what are some of the most useful tools that people can use on LinkedIn? Obviously, you're very skilled in video, but there might be some others that you know about that that would also be useful to explore.
I think first that people are sitting around on the sidelines, just like we were talking about, where they think they have to have all the perfect equipment, all of the everything lined up. And honestly, the platform is very generous with showing up as you are on your cell phone camera. We all carry these around everywhere now, most of us do. And we have access to really good cameras and audio equipment. And this is good enough, like, to get started. And especially, you know, there's a pressure to show up a certain way, but honestly, at the end of the day, we're humans talking with other humans. We are more likely to get even a job at a corporate office because we connected with a human during the interview process.
Yeah.
And I think we forget that. We think, and we start getting into the social media world that just feels big and feels voluminous and feels like you have to have the funnel, you have to have their email, you have to have this, you have to have. And I try to dial people back and be like, you don't have to have all that. You can make 10 solid connections per month on LinkedIn. And I think that would do more for your business than trying to reach thousands and thousands. And even when I do put out content and it reaches thousands, at the end of the day, I don't talk to all thousands of those people. It comes down to probably the 10 that I actually talk to. Like, we're having a conversation, and this allows, and recording this allows us and our conversation to get multiplied out. Mm-hmm. But I think people just need to kind of think in that space and not, think, oh my gosh, I have to have a viral post to make it, if that makes sense.
100%. Yeah. I've often heard, I don't know, just the virality, if that's even a word. I don't even know what I just said. But, the viral nature of content has certainly, I think, become almost like a virus, where it's infected how people think content is what it's supposed to achieve, especially like videos or memes or posts or whatever it might be. And that's that detracts from the relationship building, which is really what we're trying to do as a business.
And the higher price that you eventually could exchange with a client, a relationship, but the higher the potential income that you generate for them as somebody they hire, and the higher your price is for them to hire you, when that starts going up and up and up, and obviously you heard that I connected the two, the more you will generate for them too. I mean, you've got to get people whatever results, and everyone has different results, different goals. At the end of the day, if their goal is a certain level and a certain height, that will take more than just one post or one conversation or one moment in time. You're building a relationship. And I think that's why I put on my profile that I do human to human marketing, because so many times people go back to, well, are you B2C? Are you all these letters? And I'm like, okay, yes, I get that. There's value in those conversations. But sometimes when you are just thinking about the relationships that I've built being in corporate for 20 years, sometimes I ended up hiring and they won huge contracts with huge amounts of money because they built a personal relationship over time and over years.
Yeah, 100%. And allowing yourself to have that time and give yourself the space to have that, develop that relationship is really necessary. But I think it's also, and this is something that you showcase well, it's something that having a content strategy actually allows for, when you approach it from the idea that, you're not creating a viral, video post. You're not reaching out and essentially like trying to make this content that's there to make a sale and land some sort of deal within the context of one post or one Facebook ad, to put it in that context. But you're actually opening up a long-term conversation, allowing a journey to happen, allowing for people to know, like, and trust you, or over a period of time, just like any relationship, that then allows everybody to be on the same page when that time is right for business to happen and for things to come together.
Correct. And I feel like, oh my goodness, it doesn't take that many people that we think. For example, I have specifically sat down at the beginning of the year and said I wanted to get more active in my local community, because it doesn't necessarily matter that there are things that matter because you have a platform online, but truly at the end of the day, making some relationships. And I just went to a event. It was a lunch and learn type of event here in my local area, and it had maybe about 10, 15 people sitting around a table to listen to somebody who has been extremely successful starting businesses, kind of mom and pop stores, like literal, but
physical locations.
Right.
Right.
And there's so much value in learning from that person, but they don't have a social media platform and presence and everything, and they're just retiring. And I learned so much, and I felt so good going to that event and learning and just realizing that it's not always all about making some post online. I might have, by creating one connection to this one person, now created a ripple effect that I may then get connected to another person who has a great business idea here in my local area, and we end up working or something. It's very interesting how those things just naturally happen, but I do believe in the power of being online and the power of literal face-to-face meetings.